Hello and welcome to another Disney Pixar video, and today we are going to talk about Lightyear from 2022. The cast member in this movie, we got my boy Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear, Keke Palmer as Izzy, Taika Waititi is playing Mo. I thought this was a really cool touch to the movie where enough of, because obviously this is a spin-off of the Toy Story movies where we known from Buzz Lightyear as a toy. And we're seeing like a human form as Buzz in this movie. So it's crazy of enough a Pixar movie like Toy Story and the others as well being part of, Pixar with Disney. And then also this movie we're going to talk about, Lightyear, is also in the same like universe type situation as well in a Disney Pixar movie and stuff. And fortunately for this movie, Andy from the Toy Story movie, this is the movie he watched, the one we are going to talk about. So I just, to me, I thought that was so interesting in my head, where enough of a Pixar Disney character in a Pixar movie as Andy watching a Disney Pixar movie about Buzz Lightyear. I don't know why that is so interesting, but you never know. Like, you don't even think about that very often and stuff. It feels like it's like a rare piece of type of thing where, like, you just don't hear that very often. And fortunately enough, when this movie came out, when Andy saw it, was in 1995. Fortunately enough, we actually know Buzz, like who he is and stuff. He's a space ranger, go around space, go to like planets and planets.
I will explore further the oddities of this strange planet.
Yeah, but somehow enough, there's like, other space rangers as well. There's actually a thing where they were trying to fight or hit like plants, whatever, in their way. I don't know why. I just like their weapon. It looks like, not like a lightsaber, but like just like something light sword type of situation and stuff. Like, I just kind of like those things, like lightsabers are so cool, and that's like almost similar like that. Buzz and Ultra fighting like vines on the planet they were trying to escape, and now they're living on that planet. I like the fight scene. It kind of like, in their way, their fight form of the scene, it kind of reminds me of the Avengers, like 2012 movie where they were fighting in New York City, where Cap and Iron Man working together and stuff. And it's also like a cool shot and stuff. And you gotta understand enough of like, yes, Chris Evans plays Captain America. He's my boy. They had to run away from this planet, so they were going away, and then somehow enough, Buzz crashed, so they had to stay in this planet and stuff, trying to figure out of enough to leave the planet. So Buzz is trying to figure out the cure to leave the planet. So he used a crystal some way in his spaceship and went through in space to go around like the sun. And he had to go like in these round like rings and stuff. And somehow enough, his first time he failed and stuff. And then somehow enough, when he landed, it's like now, like, it's not the same as the planet at the time and stuff, so everybody's different, because it felt like when he was in space and went around the sun, it took like 4 years of his time, and he only went through his, space thing like about like I don't know, like 4 minutes.
Time travel! What?
So he looks the same, and everybody is like, aging in a way. It's kind of strange of that and stuff. And also, again, it really does mind of a lot of like the Avengers movies as well. It's like the same thing where in Avengers Endgame, where when Thanos snapped and did like the blip or whatever, you know, people were snapped for about 5 years in the future and stuff, where Ant-Man is probably the same age what he went into the realm and then went back out and stuff, because it didn't really took him long enough, because somehow enough of, again, it's the travel timeline. It's completely different when you are in something or out of something and stuff. So where now something can be very effective of the outside of the timeline, where in the timeline you don't age differently in a way. And also there's different times, years than minutes. So Buzz just keeps doing the space thing and stuff, and fortunately enough, it's people are getting older and older till the time he's been doing it, and also failing it as well. And Elsha is actually pregnant at this time, and then after he goes back again, he basically went through again, and then basically enough, now she has a kid of her own, but with a woman. And I will talk about this. I know it's weird to think about this, because I thinking it was something pretty huge of what Disney really did, and other people, really thought about this type of scene in a way, because we live in a weird world. Don't think it as the wrong way, where enough of like, oh, like how can two women's have a baby in a way? Well, it's not possible in a way, because mostly male and female have to make a baby. These are obvious things we know. Like, I'm not just gonna talk about, where does baby come from? I'm not doing that, But we got to just understand of the spectrum of what we are seeing in a movie, especially a family Disney Pixar movie, as like Toy Story type of Buzz Lightyear type situation. So there could be of enough of like, oh, she could have adopted a kid, but fortunately enough, she was pregnant from this baby. So the only way she could absolutely pregnant of a baby while being married to a woman is getting a male sperm to her, so she can grow a baby into her and stuff. And that is possibility the way, because there's a fact enough of it, because people were totally afraid of like showing, like I'm hearing like other people opinions about this and stuff, and somebody doesn't want to show their own kids, because they have, Disney put it like a lesbian woman in the movie and stuff. Unfortunately enough, like thinking of like, oh, this is weird. what the crazy thing is what is the weirdest thing about this? You know, this is normal in real life. This is like, this is what's going on in reality. You know, like you could just the only big thing enough of what people cannot do is accepting who people are. You know, I think that's the hardest thing about other people think in the world and stuff. You know, don't think that. You know, just like people need to live their own life with the way they want to be and stuff. You know, you can be whoever you want. This is your life. You know, you control it. Where enough of you just cannot just say like, oh, that's impossible, or why they should do this, or they shouldn't do this in the first place at all, and stuff, and saying like it's a red flag. Really, it's not. So it's just, you gotta just accept of these typical things. And fortunately enough, there are so many type of like these people as lesbians or gays or anything like that and stuff. Like there's so many. There's like transitions. Transgender, I meant to say, and stuff. Like there's so much, you know, stuff. You know, we just gotta think about positive things on this, where enough of these are the people choose these life, and we just got to, you know, accept that in a way. And there's no wrong answer to it. So, you know, so don't think enough of like, oh, we wouldn't show this to our own kids because we don't want to have our own kids to be like this. You know, it's to be honest, it's up to your own kid. Like, there shouldn't be no shame of if your kid become of these typical things. You know, things happens and stuff. Like it's called life. You know. You know, and it's just so crazy just thinking about it because it's in a Disney movie. Like, why? Like, why is this so hard? You know, just like I'm hearing like people saying it's like, well, I don't want to see this. Like, why? Like, honestly enough, like Lightyear is actually a good movie and stuff. You know, it's just a story into anything. It doesn't prove nothing of enough. It's just, it shows enough of a good woman is married to a woman and had a baby. Like, that's pretty much from that. There's no foul or not normal or anything. Well, you know, it's just what it is. Okay? And we need, into this world of the reality, we need to show of people, you know, we gotta accept who we are, okay? We really do. And I apologize, I went a little carried away from this situation. I do want to talk about this because it's interesting, you know? To me, in a way, it's interesting. Other people have different opinions. The funny thing about this is when I was hearing about Snoop Dogg. I don't know if he has kids or like nephews or grandkids or whatever and stuff, but somehow enough he was watching with kids about it, and they were like confused. Like, wait a second, like this is not right. And
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with
The
her?
new Buzz, the Lightyear. I think it's
Yeah,
called
with
Lightyear.
Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
Then she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, I didn't come in for this. Watch the goddamn movie. Shh, the movie ain't over with.
so, just like I don't know. Just don't say enough of Disney is wrong, because Disney is not wrong. You know, it's just that is just the way Disney thought of this, and in our life, in a way, we just got to accept that, and that's okay. So, yep, so he just keeps going into the future more and more and more. She just keeps getting older and stuff. And then, fortunately, like, I thinking, like, the next time we saw was, like, her own kid is, like, graduating from, like, high school or college and stuff. And then after that, her kid had like a baby as well and stuff. So it's like another generation of her family coming together and stuff, where now Buzz is just still as him and they're more growing into the future. And then I think in the last time of his mission, where enough of she is not there anymore, because fortunately enough, there's some ways enough life has to end, but her kid become one of, like, now the captain of the place. So I thought that was kind of interesting. He was there, and just they realized enough of, like, they just want to stay, and so they're not doing like the mission anymore, like nothing about that. They just realized enough what they want to do, and that's that. And then he realized enough of his friend Cat Sock basically helped Buzz to get the right crystal so he can go and actually complete his mission and stuff. And now things literally change at this point and stuff. He fortunately enough met 3 other people and stuff, and this is where Izzy comes into the storyline, and that is going to be the granddaughter of Captain. And we also see Zurg's spaceship, so fortunately Zurg is here. While Buzz is in Zurg's spaceship, we show enough of who is actually inside of Zurg, and it's basically a future old Buzz Lightyear became Zurg. And they showed of why, and clearly enough of the people found out what Buzz did to go in a different timeline, future situation, where Captain found him and didn't really like what he did, so they were trying to capture him. He went away, and then that's where he found the spaceship, became Zurg, and all those typical things and stuff. And then fortunately enough, he was trying to erase everything, but Buzz didn't like that. Easter eggs, we got A113 was on the rock wall where Buzz was running away from Zurg, and the Pizza Planet truck was on the left where Buzz was driving. And still no hearing about John Ratzenberger in these movies and stuff. He might be done, but yeah. I really enjoyed this movie so much. I thought, when I saw this, I thought Buzz Lightyear was a really cool character. He still is, as a toy and in this movie. It's just, he has an interesting storyline and stuff. I think everybody was a little pissed off of enough of Tim Allen was not playing the voice in this movie, but now it's Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans did a great job. Unfortunately enough, it's just voice acting. But, it's a much younger version of Buzz Lightyear, if you want to say. and stuff. So that is that. Yeah, I don't know, the space thing, the storyline. I thought it was just super cool. It gave you future vibes to the movie. I really liked a lot. Very colorful scenes from it and stuff. Living on a planet and stuff. The timeline is a little off here and there. It's kind of crazy. He stays the same age where people are aging in a way. That's a little, off to it, but in generally enough, just like I do like the characters, I like the storyline and stuff. They just did a great job with the animation, with everything to it and stuff. I just thought it was, they just did a great job. That's something I could absolutely say and stuff. I don't know why Buzz Lightyear is a cool character. It's just he looks cool. Like I was just thinking that really fits into like what Buzz Lightyear looks like and stuff, and he just looks cool. And the coolest thing is when he does his job enough of being a space ranger and not being a space ranger and stuff. Just all these typical things here and there and stuff. And everybody did honestly a really great job in this movie and stuff. So I really enjoyed it a lot. Like, I'm not saying this is one of my favorites, but it could be in that category and stuff. But fortunately enough, there's so many of like the iconic ones and stuff. But this is up there where enough I just enjoy enough to watch it more and more and stuff. I only saw it once in a movie theater with my family a long time ago and stuff. So this is like the second time seeing it and stuff. So that's that. So I do have memories to it, but like not so much about it. And you could think about, again, futuristic about Captain America in the future and stuff, where, like in Avengers Endgame at the end, where enough of he has to put the Infinity Stone and Mjolnir away to not give like a little different timeline in the future or in the past or present at the time. So he was trying to do that, but fortunately enough, he came out into the present time because he stayed in the past with Peggy Carter, and he's now like, old Cap in a way, and then he gave the shield to Sam Wilson as he became as the new Captain America and stuff. So we're kind of like seeing that same way enough of where Buzz, seeing like an old version of him, almost something like similar what Cap did as well. But of course I haven't told these typical things. Hey guys, sorry for this difficult other video putting into the Lightyear video. I just wanted to say other things. I understand enough of this is like a different like area and system of what I'm doing with the like different camera and all this stuff. I got a mic and all this stuff. This is all great because this is gonna be my new setup in a way right now in the future and stuff because I basically was having a little bit of having a hard time, especially recording it with my phone and stuff. Fortunately, I found a better system. So, just letting you know right now, like, I am going to do more videos, like, often like this way and stuff. If you see around, this is mostly be more of my baseball channel because you see more Diamondbacks, more baseball type of situation and stuff. I am going to do this, like, this way with my main channel as well. not all of it. But I just wanted to say a couple of things to even for the Lightyear movie. I apologize enough. It's been couple like months or weeks or anything of why I haven't post the Lightyear video and stuff. Just a lot of things, just doing other things, being busy, being lazy, not putting it out. Just don't have time to basically edit the video. I'm trying to work in on it and stuff. It's not even done at the time and stuff. But this is what I'm doing right now, recording myself, talking to you and stuff, because I was having problems with my phone, and I talked a lot of things, and there's a lot of things I didn't really mention to the video to my phone. So this is why I'm trying to clarification to you guys of what is literally going on and stuff. So again, I apologize in the first place in a way of this is like happening and stuff. Basically, I realized enough of, I thought I want to be done with this, like just be done with like Pixar movies and all those typical things and stuff, because I literally thought this was going to be like the second last one, and I thought the next one is going to be Inside Out 2, and I realized enough of like in my head I don't want to do Inside Out 2 and stuff, because I just remember like I only watched it like once in my lifetime and I didn't really liked it very well and stuff. So like why would I like care about putting a video I don't care and stuff. It's like the same thing like Toy Story 4. Like I might do that in a way, like just give like my obviously I give my thoughts about these videos about these movies and stuff, my opinions and stuff, like it's totally fine, but just other ways enough of just like why would I waste my time to make a video about I don't like the movie and stuff. Like I might do that like in the future more often and stuff, but I don't know, the thing enough of like just wasting my time to do these typical videos and stuff, like these movies and stuff. Like I have to watch the movie again, I have to take notes and stuff, and I took like a long break, so I'm trying to get fit into it and stuff, because I have other projects I want to do as well, especially on my baseball channel and stuff. That's what I'm really working on and more focused on right now, because I haven't posted other videos on my baseball channel as well, because again, it's hard being a YouTuber and stuff and making your own videos. Like it's hard. So you gotta understand enough of people take breaks and stuff. Just take like a week off or more often than ever. Take your time. Like I'm enjoying enough of like doing this, and I do want to take time and stuff because I don't want to rush. Sometimes it does like that, but I'm not trying to, I'm doing my best every single time and stuff. So I just want to, clarify to you guys about that. Like I am trying, but it's hard, like it's not really hard, but like you understand in a way and stuff. So that's just a lot of things about that. And then I realized enough, I looked at my notes about what other movies of the Pixar's and stuff, and I forgot about Elemental as well. So that is basically the next one after Lightyear and stuff, and then after Elemental is going to be Inside Out 2 and stuff. And I'm not doing the new Pixar movie they just came out, Elio or something like that and stuff. I'm not doing that because that's brand new, by the way, and stuff. And it's just like I'm trying not to do like new stuff, and I'm trying to do like old stuff at the time and stuff. And I forgot like what year like Inside Out 2 came out and stuff. Like I feeling like it was like 2022 or 2023 and stuff. Like that's probably like the latest and stuff. Again, there's more projects to that if you want to know like what other things are new. This is why we're talking about it right now and stuff. I try to not to talk so much, but it's so weird because there's so much information I want to talk to you guys about and stuff, because like I want to tell you like what is my plan, what is like other projects like I really want to work on and stuff. So that's basically what we're talking about right now, and I don't want to do on my phone because this is the new system I really want to do and test it the first time. This is my first time testing this and stuff, so hopefully you guys like the setup and stuff. It's all fun, and this is just my office, not really like my room. My room's literally the next room before of this and stuff. I have 2 rooms, by the way. So anyways, so if you want to hear about like other projects like I really want to work on and stuff, obviously enough for baseball channel and stuff, that's new, that's different information, by the way, and stuff. That's just basically just for the baseball channel. I will make a different video about what I'm gonna do to my baseball channel, but later on. I'm just waiting till the time that will work and stuff, and then basically for this channel, obviously enough, I will do Elemental and stuff, because fortunately enough, I haven't seen that movie, so I could be, I really want to see it and stuff, and I've heard good things about that movie and stuff, and it looks a cool, fun, family movie to watch and stuff, so I'm honestly looking forward to it. Just like noticed, like right now, I looked into my phone and stuff, like that's the other thing, like I really like this system, like I can use my phone now, like, because now, like, if I don't know, like, my notes, because I put my notes in my phone and stuff, so now I can, like, look it up if I want to. And then other projects I want to do, I mentioned enough, I probably want to do, like, other, like, Marvels and DC and other, like, movies in general, just not as superheroes in ways and stuff. Like, there's other movies out there I want to talk about and stuff. For Marvel wise and stuff, obviously there are new and stuff. I didn't talk about like phase 4, phase 5 in a way, because that's in generally to the universe saga, because there's different parts of what they did, because we already did the Infinity Saga and stuff. That's basically like Iron Man all the way to like Spider-Man Far From Home from 2008 to 2019. Big gap, by the way. Only had 3 phases and stuff. And fortunately, being in phase 6 right now, I think, I do want to start with the universe saga to like phase 4 and phase 5 and stuff. The only thing about is different from this point of view is about the TV shows. I do want to talk about TV shows, but the thing is like I have different options I want to do. Is like I could do like one video of talk about the whole season and stuff, and then, or I could just talk about one episode and just talk about that. And then DC stuff, like I want to do Shazam and stuff. I don't know, I want to do Shazam 2 in a way, like depends. I might and stuff, like I want to, but like again, like I thinking like just Shazam as like itself is actually pretty good movie just to talk about and stuff, and it will like absolutely cross like from other DC movies and stuff. I am not doing Superman, by the way, the new version, like James Gunn Superman. I'm not talking about that. I'm sorry. Like if you're like a huge Superman fan, like that's great for you and stuff. I'm not a huge Superman fan. I'm sorry. Like I'm mostly Batman. This is why I have, Batman in my name and stuff, like generally, but it's just I'm not really huge Superman fan. Like who knows, like there's also like other fun like old like movies to do and stuff. I also want to do like sports movies, like my favorite movie of all time, it's like The Sandlot and stuff. There's also Moneyball I really want to do as well. There's 42 is a good movie to do and stuff. Just like baseball and generally, like not crazy big ones like I really want to talk about. Like there's other movies I do want to talk about as well, but like just the most like I really want to do and stuff. And if you really talk about like Star Wars and stuff, I might do 7, 8, 9 like the other sequel ones. Like, you know, I'm still doing these videos. It's just there's going to be times where enough of you're not gonna see me very often and stuff, because probably around the next month of March, I will be more connected to my baseball channel as heck, because baseball is coming around the corner and stuff, and I want to be more focused on that and stuff. And I still will do, you know, videos on this main channel as well. It's just not a whole lot in a way and stuff. So, and then another thing I really want to talk about the Lightyear movie. I even want to show of enough of I saw my name and generally into the at the ending of the Lightyear movie in the intro with, you know, shows like all the names and all that stuff. I'll show you right now, just letting you know, in a way this is kind of literally my name, but the first name is correct in a way. My last name is Parati in a way, but it's just spelled completely different. It's just the only thing it really needs to it is like a RO or like a O or something in a way and stuff, or I think there's like need like another I like into the name, and then it would be my name and generally like of if they had like those typical letters, because it's not the same spelling as what my last name is and stuff. So I just want to let you know on that, because it's like I in my generally of my world enough of like that's like rare to literally see like a like your name on some like, you know, intro. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this. Hopefully you get more other videos and stuff, and have a nice day, and thank you for watching.